Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're well, thank you for joining me again. Well, I've just finished watching the live broadcast with Richard Tice and Nigel Farage about Reform's economic policies. One interesting thing is raising the tax threshold to £20,000. Imagine that, 20 grand before you got to pay any income tax. That's a bit more, I like the sound of that. But as I said with Noel Wilcox at the weekend, I have an accountant that sorts all that out and I don't get involved in the figures. Well, when you look at the politicians, when you look at the political parties, they make an awful lot of promises, don't they? And they say, if you elect us, we'll give you a new hospital. If you elect us, we'll put 20,000 new police officers on the street. If you elect us, we'll put more money in your pockets. Yeah. I've heard it all before. They call it a manifesto, after all, don't they? Well, one of the things that Reform is saying, they won't call it a manifesto because usually when you see one of those, it's full of empty promises and outright lies that don't actually get delivered on. One of the things that's happening at the moment, we've got this ongoing war on motorists, where we're getting overtaxed, the fuel duty and all sorts of stuff. It's very, very expensive now to run a car. And as you can imagine, a taxi driver such as myself, you see that every day. Now, some buzzwords are coming out of the Tories area. If you elect us, we'll scrap the ULEZ expansion. If you elect us, there won't be any pay per mile. If you elect us, fuel duty will be frozen. All of these things. Now, I have to ask the question, why didn't you do this before? Oh, yes, that's right. There's an election coming up. So, yeah, we're just going to say these things to get in. Now, I refer to something Howard Cox has said. Howard Cox is currently standing as the Reform candidate for Dover and Deal. And as you are aware, he did stand as the Reform candidate for the Mayor of London, where, unfortunately, and you reap what you sow, Sadiq Khan got back in. But, you know, listen to this. Mr. Cox explained Tory Transport Minister Mark J. Harper could have done this last year. All of these things. It's just electioneering, empty promises. And Howard seems to think that he's had it on very good authority that if Labour get in, which seems all but certain, then things like pay per mile, higher fuel duty and all that sort of thing, they're all coming. Now, I tend to believe it because if you look over at Wales, where they've messed around with 20-mile-an-hour zones and making drivers' lives as difficult as possible, you get away with it in one area, it's going to spread everywhere else. So God help us. We've got a lot of thinking to do and not a lot of time to do it. Speaking of thinking, let me know what you think in the comments. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. And as always, I look forward to talking to you again soon. Toodaloo.